We are at the Alberton Rugby Club, the home of the Elande. It is week number 7 of the Golden Lions Rugby Union President's League, or you can call it the President's Cup. Quite a special occasion right here in Alberton. Of course, it is the Elande. They are taking on the Soweto Eagles this afternoon. The Elande are at the top of the standings, and of course, the Soweto Eagles currently find themselves second on the log standings. My name is Aaron Masamola, and I'm joined by two Springboks. To my right, it is Lionel Mapu, a man who's played for the Springboks before. In terms of the excitement this afternoon, how excited are you after the 2-week break that we had?
Very excited, Aaron. Obviously looking forward to getting into the swing of things again, getting to see how the players obviously took their couple of days off and come back here, and obviously to show again the fans here, listen here, we are here, we haven't been gone for too long.
Most certainly. On my far right, it is Fabian Boyson, a man who's played for the junior Springboks. In terms of the short break that we had this past few weeks, how have you been? And it's exciting to see you back again.
No, Aaron, thanks. It's always good to be back. I had a little short sabbatical myself, but all good. Back healthy again, so happy to be here. And also excited to be back at the home of the Elande. We know every time we come here, there's excitement, there's enthusiasm from the player side and spectators alike, and it always makes for a good afternoon of rugby. So I'm very excited for this one.
Most certainly. You talk about the spectators. Of course, we are seeing a full house this afternoon. The Elande always well supported, and it's always so beautiful to see. We'll start off with you this afternoon. Of course, the Elande, they're the team that are currently at the top of the log. They've made it 6-6. Such a big occasion for them. They're taking on a team that's second on the log. Will we see the Elande relaxing this afternoon, or can the Soweto team surprise them?
Look, for me, a break is always good. And there's two things that can happen. Either you hit the ground running straight out of the break, or you might be a bit slow to get the afterburners going. If there's any chance for the second place team on the log, the Eagles, to top the table toppers, it would be this afternoon. Catch them off guard, get a quick start, get into the match early, put them on the back foot. But this Elande side have shown their classy outfit. 6 out of 6 thus far. They haven't been too troubled. But if any time there was an opportunity for me, the Eagles this afternoon, if they can have a good start, build some scoreboard pressure and see it through at the end, I think they're in with a chance.
Most certainly. Now, Lionel, the one thing that we saw from the under-19 showing that we saw a little bit earlier is the fact that the Soweto Eagles most certainly want to play fast-running rugby. Are we expecting the same from their first team? And also, what are some of the areas where the Elande actually have to be very careful of the Soweto outfit?
Definitely in the wide channels, obviously definitely at broken play as well. As we've seen from the earlier game, the makeup of these teams are obviously the Elande will come out with the big forwards, obviously with the big backs as well, where the Soweto Eagles team would be a little bit smaller, and obviously they have to take the opportunities when it's given to them, and the team that is the most disciplined today obviously will win. The team that makes less mistakes today probably will win. And obviously the name of the game is just keep your ball, obviously keep your ball in hand at the ruck time, get your ball obviously at line out time, good scrum, and just good running game at the moment.
Most certainly use your opportunities. It is week number 7. It is the President's Cup. It is the Elande. They are taking on the Soweto Eagles. It's bound to be a big one. The lads are about to run out. We're moving straight into commentary, and it's bound to be an exciting game right here on SABC2. Enjoy the action. Welcome to week number 7 of the Golden Lions Rugby Union President's Cup. Of course, we start off with the team that's playing away from home this afternoon. Having a quick look at some of the players that have been sent out to do battle for the Soweto Eagles outfit. Looking at that forward pack, we've got Ben, we've got Evans, we've got Kagiso being such a vital part of this forward pack. In terms of some of the other players that we can mention as well, Tato being a part of this vital pack as well as Manyembe wearing the number 5 jersey. In terms of Chabalala, he's wearing the number 6 jersey, and then Sonwabo wearing number 7, and then the 8th man, Siyabonga, also wearing the 8th jersey.
As we look at the backs, Aaron, some interesting players there, and players to look out for would definitely be the number 10, Daluz Kochi. He's one of their standout players. He's been dictating play throughout this entire competition, so definitely someone to look out for. And then they've got some speedsters out in the wild with Nkosi and Tato, who'll be looking to finish off and get their names on the score sheets this afternoon.
Of course, the Soweto Eagles, they find themselves second on the log with so much to prove, but the home team, they've got their own battle to impress their home supporters. Looking at that forward pack for the Elande, you've got players like Van Rooyen, Mnisi, De Priya, you've got Dylan, we've got Kevin as well, CJ also wearing the number 6 jersey, we've got Morris wearing the number 7 jersey, as well as Steenkamp. He'll be their 8th man this afternoon. The
backs for the Elande, we started with number 9, Alan and Marco. That partnership's going to be crucial this afternoon for them, making sure they get to the right areas of the field and get this forward pack that will be dominant, some good ball to attack from and direction.
Tough battle lies ahead here at the Alberton Rugby Club. You can feel the energy, you can hear the vibe. First team rugby, the lads are about to run out. And it's bound to be quite an exciting battle in Alberton. Of course, in terms of the commentary team, my name is Aaron Masamola, the man that finds himself next to me, former junior Springbok, Fabian Boyson, will be carrying you through the action this afternoon.
An action that we in store for this afternoon, Aaron. We can see as the lads are prepared to run out, can hear them chanting and getting ready for this game. So they're really up for this challenge, are the Soweto Eagles, taking on the top table toppers, the Elande, as they make their way onto the field.
Elande running onto the field. You can hear the support, you can hear the screams from the crowd. This is their home ground, and they will be looking to protect their fortress this afternoon.
Our fortress for them has become indeed, Aaron, they're 6 out of 6 in this competition, showing the real depth of the club, making sure that whenever there's been rotation, they've been able to still produce the goods. They'll be looking to produce the goods here as well. As mentioned in our build-up, we are coming off a short little break, so it'll be interesting to see how the players go out this first 20 minutes. Lungs will be burning. We've got a beautiful winter's afternoon here in the south of Joburg, but still it's going to be a bit dusty. It's going to be fast-paced, so we'll see how the fitness holds up throughout the 80-minute encounter.
Most certainly, you talk about the fitness. We saw that first game that we were watching earlier, the under-19s. That was a big question mark, but I'm sure the first team is always a lot fitter than the under-19 lads, wouldn't you say?
Should be. Let's go to should be. You know, the under-19s might have the youth and exuberance on their side still. When you get to the first team there, you've taken a few knocks, just as from rugby, but from life as well. So you're a bit tougher. Fitness-wise, we'll see. I think we're in for an interesting one, Aaron.
Most certainly. As we're about to see kickoff, Elande with ball in hand, they're playing from right to left on your screen. Soweto Eagles, they're playing from left to right.
But is Kagiso not able to gather there from the restart and the first scrum of the game setting in? A bit of a wobbly restart coming from the Elande side, and the prop finding him in awkward territory there, having to regather that ball. Unfortunately, just knocking it on. But a decent attacking opportunity here for the Elande, just 35 meters out from the Eagles' goal line.
First scrum of the afternoon. I know this is a department that you're always watching quite closely, Fabian. How vital are the scrums this afternoon? Of course, we know that the Elande rely on that physicality and they're looking to dominate the scrums this afternoon.
No, very vital, Aaron. As we see that scrum just going down there, just a slip of the foot. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the Eagles hold up. Obviously, being the smaller, lighter pack, that could be a disadvantage when this Elande side starts piling on the pressure. However, when these big lads start to tire out, that's when they really have to capitalize. So for the Eagles on their own ball, they want to have a quick ball. When it gets to the Elande, they don't want to tussle too much up front. Get to that first breakdown, get in the defensive line, and make sure you start playing from there.
Most certainly the Elande with ball in hand. They Scrummy Roberts with a quick feed. Spreads that ball to their fly half. Elande using the width of the field. Passing the ball back to the center of the field. Running straight into contact is a fly half. Brits. Using their big man. Turnover ball here by the Elande. Pardon me, by the Eagles.
Oh, just a slight high tackle there from the Eagles. And although the Elande spread that ball wide pretty quickly from that set phase, however, not really troubling this defensive line of the Eagles with that first attacking line as they opt to kick for touch here, possibly a driving maul coming up this close to the try line.
Showing the intent so early on in this encounter, just 2 minutes in. As you mentioned there, Fabian, this should be a simple move here. Great execution of the line out, straight into a rolling maul. As we can see, they've got some big men in this forward pack, players like the Priya. And of course, the defensive line of the Eagles will be tested this afternoon.
Oh, heavily tested here, as we'll see. It looks like Mnisi looking to find his jumper, but it's gone astray there, unfortunately, and gathered by this Eagles outfit and into touch, unfortunately, there from the tight prop Kagiso, who's been heavily involved in the first interactions in this encounter. Another line-out opportunity here to just rectify that earlier mistake, just a bit of a delay on the jump there. The Elande will be looking to just get up, get that maul set up, and make sure that they get a solid foundation.
Line-out opportunity here for the Elande. Great execution, finding his jumper. Running straight into contact. Gaining a meter or two. Elande spreading the ball. Using the width of the field. Straight to their winger. Securing their first try of the game. It is Jones for the Elande. So early on in this encounter, the Elande asserting their dominance.
No, very, very dominant there, Aaron. Anticipated the rolling ball from them. They opted to come straight off the top. And we can see the intent here, really using the width of the field, using the dummy runners in the mid, holding the defensive line up front. And just, unfortunately, Eagles running out of defenders at the end. And Jones going over for his first try of this match.
The Eagles have to be careful this afternoon. If they don't fix their defensive structures, they're going to have a very, very long day in the office. As we see the Elande fly half, Brits looking to add 2 more points. Unfortunately, that kick not going according to plan, but after 4 minutes, the Alberton Elande, they find themselves on 5 points. Soweto Eagles are yet to score a single point, but there's so many minutes still left in this game.
No, a lot of time still left in this one, Aaron. I think from an Eagles perspective, the Elande has really shown their hand up front early in this encounter. They're going to be looking to spread it wide. They'll be coming with the dummy runners around the corner. So from a defensive position, the Eagles just need to make sure they hold their width as they regather this ball from the kickoff.
It is the Eagles with ball in hand. Being quite scrappy at rag time. They spread the ball to their wing. Nkosi with ball in hand. He secures the first try for the Soweto Eagles.
Oh, brilliant play there, an opportunistic play there from the Eagles as well. Scrappy from the line out. The Elande just scored a try. It needed to be a simple restart for them, gather, get out of their half. But the Eagles applying the pressure, making sure they get that ball back. Brilliant play from Siyabonga, the 8th man, making sure he gets it to his winger in Corsi. And as we mentioned in the build-up, they've got pace outside, and those guys in space, the Elande are now aware what they can do, Aaron.
You can't give these lads any opportunities. You can't give them a gap. Once you do, you will see the scoreboard ticking, without a doubt. Elande looking to add 2 more points here to their tally. Their fly half taking his time. Fortunately, that kick not going according to plan. But the Soweto Eagles making their way back into this encounter. Both teams now on 5 points after 6 minutes in this encounter.
Oh, brilliant play there, and really making sure they're staying in touch within this Elande side. That's what we see there. It can't be a runaway train this afternoon. It's 1 and 2 that's up against one another, and this is exactly what we expect from 2 quality outfits, both vying for that first place on the log.
As we see the restart here by the Elande. Unfortunately, the Eagles not being able to take that ball was a big hit there.
Big hit there, but not another. Once again, a positive followed by a negative, as we saw earlier from the Elande. Now, similarly from this Eagles outfit, really struggling with the kickoff. Pressure being applied, but just not getting themselves out of the half. This is really where you want to gather the ball, set up a phase, get yourself out of your half, and make sure that you get out of it. It looks like the man Morris just down there. Hopefully, is just slightly winded, going into the player who was competing for that ball. Luckily, we've got our paramedics out here attending to him really quickly, and the doctor's on field, so I'm sure he'll be fine. Just a magic ice and some water, and he'll be good.
Some magic ice, you say, or magic spray, whatever the doctor orders. Exactly what the player will take.
Always interesting, Aaron. Whenever there's an injury, well, I'd say 90% of the time, ice is always the first thing that comes
100%.
out. So I'm not sure if there's different ice being used. I know in my playing days, we never saw those bags getting filled, so I can't tell you what's in them. But it definitely works. Definitely works.
Ice, baby. Whatever's required. We're seeing a stoppage in play, of course, looking at the action that we have seen in the first 8 minutes of the game. Of course, the Elande asserting their dominance early on. But the one thing that you mentioned earlier, and the one thing that I'd like to highlight as well, is the Soweto outfit not allowing the Elande to actually build scoreboard pressure, almost counter-attacking quite quickly, being able to score a try of their own, which is quite important, because once you let that scoreboard take way too much, you almost find it too difficult for you to come back.
No, there's no time to come back. And when 2 quality outfits are facing one another, it's like a heavyweight boxing match, Aaron. Like, for every 1 punch you receive, you need to double up on throwing back, and that's what we're seeing here this afternoon. It's going to be a titanic battle between these outfits. Like, the Eagles didn't come here to just have for another game. They're coming to look and assert their dominance early in the second round of this championship, so making sure that they give themselves a good opportunity. And right now, they're doing just that.
Most certainly, looking at this forward pack for the Elande, they'll be looking to make the scrum count. Players like Van Rooyen, Mnisi, De Priya, big moment for them. Of course, we know that they've got a slight advantage when it comes to the physicality in this battle, as well as the size when you look at this forward pack as well.
Oh, definitely size advantage. That's why we see the reset there. A bit of the dark arch being used from the Eagles. A slight pre-engage on the props there, and that just closes up the distance travel, so that hit is a lot softer than what you initially would get. And a brilliant play there from the props, really, making sure that they use every opportunity.
Quick feed here by Roberts, the scrummy for the Elande. They fly half, he spreads the ball. Great meters gained here by Duplessis. Elande being so effective when it comes to running the ball. Being patient at rug time. Looking to use their big men. Muscling their way through.
No, definitely keeping it tight here are the Elande, using their forwards just to build a bit of momentum, creating some quick ball for the backs as we see it being spread to the outside now. Back in the inside to the number 13, Foster.
Foster looking to offload. He finds his man. The fullback.
Henry Payne going over for his his first one of the encounter. Brilliant play there from Brits. We saw that initial move, Aaron, quite slow, didn't really get the quick ball that they wanted from that first ruck, played it with the forwards, and great variation from Brits, pass to the inside to Du Plessis, and then also from Payne going over, getting that offload, making sure he gets his name on the scoreboard.
Such an important part of the game. The one thing that the Elande are doing quite well is that they're building those phases, and they're also finding the gap, but also using their physicality. Unfortunately, the Eagles' defense has been nowhere to be found in the first few minutes of this first half, and that's an area where they want to improve. Yes, they're a little bit smaller, but they have to apply themselves to those tackles as well. 2 points being added. The Elande moving their tally to 12 points. Soweto Eagles, they're still on 5 points.
They're still on 5 points, and they just didn't expect that inside pass at all. Catch-up defenders for the Eagles, nowhere to be seen, and making great use of that opportunity. Did the Elande, going over for their second of the match.
2 tries to the Elande. Soweto Eagles have just scored a single try in this game. They'll be hoping for more. Fortunately, the Elande struggling to gather that ball. Elande spreading that ball. That man yet again. Payne running the ball. Great offload to Jones. Big hits. Ho-ho!
Great offload, even better tackle.
Yo.
Using the 16th man, but putting the shoulder down. Are the Eagles 2-on-1. Great stuff. Great cover defense from the Eagles outfit.
One for the highlight reel this afternoon. Big hits. Yes, we might be a little bit smaller, but we're not shy to tackle this afternoon. That's a message directly from the Eagles.
Definitely a message, and definitely not shying away from the physical stuff this afternoon. Scrappy line out from the Eagles. Still managed to regather that one inside their 22 at the moment.
Eagles taking their time here. They'll be looking for an easy exit. There it is, almost taking off your head there, Fabian.
I guess that's why the head call was coming out. Opportunity here for the Elande outfit, but needs to be mentioned. Great exit play from the Eagles. They're under heavy pressure. Just conceded a try. Find themselves back in their own half after a line break. Managed to secure the line out. Bit scrappy, but the clearing from the number 10 just relieving pressure for them at the moment. Brilliant play from the Eagles.
As we see the Elande with ball in hand, Van Rooyen, he'll be looking to make this one count. They've done well in terms of their lineouts. Is the Elande. They'll be hoping for more of the same. Van Rooyen, he takes his time.
Oh, great competing from the Eagles, turning that one over. First steal for the game. Oof.
Another big hit.
Another big one coming in from Burries. The outside center for the Elande. Is it the Eagles who's back on the attack?
Eagles looking to run the ball. Payne with a deep kick, chasing down the ball, applying pressure. Brits with ball in hand.
Numbers are plenty for the Eagles on the outside, where they opt to hit it up the middle. Competing at the ruck are the Eagles, unfortunately not getting their hands on the ball.
Elande with ball in hand. Du Plessis gaining a few vital meters for the Elande. Elande slowly but surely building their phases. Another big hit. Elande using their big muscles to push their way through this Eagles defense.
Definitely muscling for another big one now, but a similar met with a big hit coming in from Kagiso as well.
Eagles pushing back. Elande with ball in hand.
Cross kick there from Brits. Could it be a lucky bounce?
Almost.
Brilliant
Eagles
footwork.
with ball in hand, choosing to run the ball out of their territory. Eagles almost passing the referee there.
Back
Eagles
inside.
keep on going.
Brilliant offloading here from this Eagles outfit. unfortunately coming to an end with a slight little knock on the Aaron. But if I'm the Eagles outfit and the coaching staff, I'm excited for what I'm seeing at the moment. Space outside, you can see the big guys from this Elande outfit possibly struggling a bit to keep up with the smaller, more agile guys of the Eagles, and definitely something they would need to focus on. Get the ball wide, get the support play there. They've gained plus minus 40 meters just from one run, and Corsi doing great. They're getting confused a bit with the referee, possibly thinking it's one of his players.
Yeah.
The kit there's some resemblance. I can grant it. We might have to get the referee to swap his jersey around there. But no, brilliant play from them. Definitely something to be excited about for this Eagles outfit.
Most certainly, you talk about the Eagles coaching staff. The one thing that I'm sure they're definitely smiling about is just the physicality. Of course, their lads are a little bit smaller, but they're not shying away from the tackles as well.
Not shying away at all, Aaron. That's a positive sign to see. Yes, the Elande will get that gain line advantage. They're bigger, heavier. The double hits are going to come in. But for the Eagles, they need to bounce out of those tackles, get them on the ground, big back in the defensive line. So it's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take a lot of effort from them as well. But for this Elande outfit, they can assert their dominance from there, as we see a dominant scrum from them and giving their backs front football here.
Elande with ball in hand, looking to spread the ball. It is Payne who's being tested. Eagles looking for a turnover. Eagles spreading that ball. Quick feet, gaining a few meters as they fly half. Brits.
Turnover from the Eagles. Unfortunately, illegally. So quick tap option available. Not so. Just offside play there from the Eagles at ruck time. Ball not being cleared as yet, still part of the ruck. And it's number 14 for this Eagles outfit, Tato, conceding that penalty at the breakdown.
Most certainly. The man who finds the touch finder there, Foster, he's been quite vital. Of course, you can't miss him wearing this white scrum cap. But every single time there has been a little bit of momentum. There has been some great movement as well. The man who wears the number 13 jersey for the Elande, Foster, being so vital for this Elande outfit.
Well, I must say I've been really impressed with 10, 12 and 13 for the Elande. That combination working really well. The way they run off one another. The relationship between Du Plessis and Foster seems to be really solid in that midfield. And that really gets you go forward. You can see the way they play off one another as well, Aaron. So that's a great unit in the mid for this Elande side.
Van Rooyen looking for a good execution of the line-out. He does just that. Unfortunately, the Elande trying to pass the ball but not finding their man. Ref calling them back. Offside. Foster with ball in hand. Easy touch finder.
Easy touch finder, and it's something Lionel mentioned in the build-up, Aaron, is discipline is going to prove vital between these outfits, especially for the Eagles side, wanting to close that gap on a defensive line, not allowing the Elande side space, especially for the big guys, to carry into. And as we see on that time at the line, just creeping up a bit, trying to close that space, possibly feeling the pressure, having the goal line so close to their backs. Now it's just 5 meters out, and it's a full line out. I can almost guarantee a driving ball coming here.
Most certainly. As they set up for that maul, that ball perfectly positioned at the back of the maul. Exactly, you called it. Elande taking their time here. They're about 1 meter, 2 meters out from that try line. Trying to muscle their way through here. Eagles packing that defense, pushing back. Elande looking to gain a few meters as they spread the ball. There it is. The third try of the game. It is the Elande that add to their tally. Another fantastic try. Fabian, you called it there. You mentioned that they'll go from line out to the rolling maul. That maul struggled a little bit. But the man who wears the number 6 jersey, CJ Dlala, he gets that third try.
Yeah,
for the Elande.
CJ Dlala going over there, getting rewarded, but hard work being done up front by the lads, getting a solid maul. I think just a little bit of impatience shown by Stefan van Rooyen at the back, breaking off a bit early. Could have possibly just hang on a bit longer and he would have gone over himself. But good recovery, good structured play, and CJ going over for the third one in this encounter and the first one for him.
Fortunately, Brits not being able to add 2 points. Looking at the scoreboard after 20 minutes, Alberton Elande, they find themselves on 17 points. Soweto Eagles, they're on 5 points. As we welcome the Springbok back into the commentary booth, Lionel Mapu, what have you made of the action from the touchline? Getting a little bit of coffee in, getting a little bit warm. It is a little bit cold out here in Alberton this afternoon.
It is a little bit cold out here, so I had to get a little bit of coffee in just to warm me up a little bit. As we see a nice and a good scrap here with Alberton obviously leading this scrap by 17 points to 5. Quite a reverse from the previous game as well. We found ourselves at 17 to 5.
Most certainly. As we see the restart here from the Eagles. Great take by the Elande. They're taking the time here at ruck time. Hey.
Penalty coming in from the side there.
Eagles thought they had a turnover ball there. Ref calling them back. Penalty going the way of the Elande.
This Elande team have been looking very good this afternoon, Aaron, especially with the big forwards and with the backs playing together nicely. As we see there, kick unfortunately too long there from the number 10, Marco Brits, kicking the ball dead there, so they'll come all the way back.
You spoke about the brilliance of the Elande in the first 22 minutes of the game. I think the one thing that they've done quite well is, of course, using their physicality, but they've also been quite patient and quite mature in the way in which they've played their rugby, building their phases. Every single time they pass the ball, they make sure that the ball goes to hand, which is something that we didn't see in that under-19 curtain raiser earlier on. And it seems that the first team, I suppose there's a reason why we call them the first team, they're covering all of those basics and they're doing brilliantly. Of course, there's so much for the Soweto Eagles to prove in this second stanza as well.
You're comparing boys versus men, Aaron. Men are playing right now. As we see, obviously we see a much more structured game from this Elande team, obviously moving the ball, playing with the forwards, playing with the backs, catching the ball, passing the ball, good passes through the hands, good carries, at ruck time clinical. Obviously playing in the right areas, barring the one or two mistakes that they've been doing.
Scrum time, another scrum opportunity here. It is a big one.
The Soweto team would obviously want to get channel one ball here, get that ball straight out of the scrum, quick and easy for their exciting backs. They have exciting backs, they have quick feet, and they can be dangerous on the outside.
Most certainly. As we see a quick scrum here by the Eagles, gaining vital meters here.
Number 8, Siabonga. Good carry there by the Eagles in the Elande 22. Building the pressure there, phase after phase. Catching the ball, passing outside the back line.
The 13th man, he gets the ball. Asanda.
Good pressure there by the Eagles team in the Elande 22. We saw here now just obviously the Elande being put under pressure by this Eagles team. They are not the biggest of teams, but they definitely come up. They definitely come up their mass on the field.
Most certainly. Interesting decision here. Eagles going for the 3 points.
Definitely they could stay in obviously one try distance here if they kick this one over. We still have a couple of scores to go before obviously they can overtake the Alberton. So interesting to see this early in the game they go for post with 5 points on the board.
They're looking to close that gap.
Obviously there's another kind of pressure, and that's scoreboard pressure. So they're obviously looking to build the scoreboard pressure. Yeah, that's the Eagles team.
Most certainly. Big kick here. 3 points in the bag for the Soweto Eagles. 25 minutes in. They're closing the gap between themselves and the Elande. 17 points to the Elande. Soweto Eagles, they find themselves on 8 points. Great kick there by the scrummy.
Definitely great kick there by the scrummy, building a little bit of pressure coming from behind there, the Soweto team. They know obviously they have to take every opportunity they can get, especially playing in this game, as you can see, with the territory obviously and the advantage of the big forwards as Alberton.
Most certainly. Unfortunately,
the ball not being able to gather there by the Eagles team.
Eagles have struggled to gather the ball this afternoon, but they've got ball in hand, lost forward there.
Knock on, Alberton scrum, pardon me, knock on from the Alberton team.
Yeah.
As we see there, vice versa. Good, Eagles obviously want to exit there. They don't want to play around in their own half for too long. Want to kick this ball out. They have the opportunity to kick it out and defend from set piece.
Most certainly. One thing about the game so far in the last 26 minutes is that the Elande have had more ball in hand. They've played deep within the territory of the Eagles. And the Eagles should go for an easy option here. Preferably choose not to run the ball in their territory.
Unless that works for them, Aaron. Unless that works for them.
Looking at the scoreboard, one would argue it's not working for them.
I think they'll be fancy their chances, seeing that they don't have much ball in hand. Obviously, the Alberton team is starving them of a little bit of ball possession. So they would obviously wanting to keep this ball in hand, not make a mistake. They have dangerous backs. Would get the ball to the outside and then kick from there.
Choose to run the ball, then kick, is Coach Lionel's call.
Ask the questions, you say.
Quick feed here by Mkhize. He's got ball in hand. Runs it. Unfortunately, that pass not going to hand.
Great defense there by the Alberton team. Eventually kicking the ball there is the Eagles.
Payne regathers for the Elande. Quick chip and chase.
Unfortunately, again too long from Payne there as we come back from a scrum, Eagles possession.
2 kicks have now been too long.
Looks like a possession game at the moment where obviously both teams obviously try to kick for possession at the moment. With Alberton having the upper hand, especially on the scoreboard. Upper hand in set pieces, obviously upper hand in gain line carries.
And capitalizing on each and every single mistake that we have seen from the Eagles.
One would think that the Eagles want to obviously also take the opportunities that they get, you know, because they are so few and far to come by.
Yep. The one thing that the Elande have done is that even though they've made mistakes, there hasn't been much room for the Eagles to capitalize or to find gaps and run in a few tries. They've almost completely starved them of possession, as you've mentioned earlier.
Well organized attacking system, well organized defense does this Alberton team.
It is a nice scrum opportunity here for the Eagles. Mkhize patiently waiting for that ball to come back to him. He's the man who scored that penalty for them earlier on. Changing the rules of the game, man. You don't have to have the fly-off kick.
Yeah,
Scrummies can do everything these days.
Scrummy, flyer, fullback, wing, everybody
Forward.
in the back line, forward.
Great scrum here by the Elande. Eagles still with ball in hand. Picking up the scraps here, trying to push their way through. Very high defensive line that the Elande are utilizing.
As you see there, the Elande smothering the Eagles attacker there in the midfield. This Eagles looking to play this ball. They're just passing the ball around, throwing the ball around like a hot potato in their own half.
In their own half, key words there. And that's that should be a little bit of a concern for their coaching staff, as we finally see a kick here from the Eagles, gathered by Payne for the Elande, trying to kick deep.
Good chase there by the number 11
Chasing
wing.
is Jones for the Elande. Oh, slipping
Unfortunately,
there.
knock on number 20 from the Eagles. Good pressure here from the Elande.
Eagles with ball in hand, still choosing to run it deep.
Good hands there from the Eagles team. Good interplay there, especially from the forwards and backs from the Eagles team. Now running it out of their own half. Scrap period, ruck time there. Ball won by the Alberton team. Fortunately, we have a knock on there. As we've seen a good scrap between kicking and running the ball. One team obviously wants to kick the ball, other team wants to run the ball. As you see, the Eagles wanting to run the ball out of their own half, and sometimes that can be your worst enemy, because you can make mistakes there and then the other team will punish you.
Most certainly.
And you're playing like a well-oiled machine like the Alberton team. You don't want to mess around too much in your own half. You want to play outside your half, kick the ball downfield.
Most certainly. Another thing to note just from this Eagles outfit is so often we've seen their players slipping, you know. We see like 2 slips deep within their territory, and often when I see that happening, I often think about the boots that they're wearing as well, because we are seeing the outfield being quite dry. So the field is definitely not wet, you know. And that will be an area of concern, because if you've got the ball in hand, the last thing you want is your player slipping, because it completely ruins the move. You know, even if you want to step a player, I mean, we don't want to see any broken ankles. It can be quite concerning as well, because it has now happened twice as well.
It can be very dangerous. One would swear it's raining out there today.
Exactly. But it's
a
dry.
slip.
It's dry
It's
as
a
a bone.
slippery situation for the Eagles team at the moment. Definitely has to do with the choice of boots that they are wearing.
Scrum opportunity here for the Eagles. Mkhize feeds the scrum. Yo.
Great
Elande.
scrum, Alberton.
Bullying their way through.
Bullying their way, exactly. Great scrum, good attacking opportunity.
It's gonna be a long afternoon here.
Their forwards definitely love that scrum. You can see how they're celebrating, and obviously that's what the forwards are made of.
And that's what they love to see. That forward pack has done so well. Van Rooyen and Mnisi, Dupree, they've most certainly handled their business. And guess what? They fly half. Brits says, give me the ball. Let me handle my business. Off the kicking tee, looking to add 3 more points to their tally.
They're definitely going to also want to keep the score out of reach of the Eagles team. If they obviously put this one over right now, the Eagles has to score twice actually to get ahead. So good tactic as well. Obviously they have the upper hand in play, ball in play. Now they obviously want to get scoreboard pressure as well.
And they do just that, adding 3 more points to their tally.
Half time going into the half, 20 points to 5. That's Alberton. Great game.
20 points to 8.
20 points to 8, pardon me. 20 points to 8. That was a good half for the Alberton team. Would you say they obviously controlled most of the game? They played in the right areas of the game. The forwards have been giving them go forward ball. The backs have been doing their thing out wide. Just an all-round good performance there from the Alberton team.
Most certainly. Let's start off with the team that's playing away from home, of course. That is the Soweto Eagles. A team that scored 1 try in that first half, a try and a penalty. After that first try was scored by the Elande, they came back and they answered quickly with that first try. But besides that, there hasn't been much to talk about from this Eagles outfit. They've really struggled in terms of just territory. They've been playing so deep within their own territory, but also when it came to the decision makings, it hasn't been that great this afternoon.
Definitely the decision making hasn't been that great. Obviously If you get starved of ball, you want to play ball out of your own half, and that's what they're doing at the moment, and that's costing them at times. They're throwing the ball around like a hot potato, and then after the third or fourth phase, then they want to kick. Then it's a wobbly kick, and then they obviously give the ball back to this Alberton team that can run the ball out wide, that can run on them. So obviously for them now is to come back, listen here, and come back and say, listen here, we're not going to stand back. We know we're smaller than you guys. We're going to obviously man up, you know. When we have the ball, they have fast backs. Obviously they have fast backs. They want to play the ball out wide, but also you have to earn the right to play wide. So they actually have to play with the forwards before they can play wide. And opportunities, if they bounce an opportunity, they will punish you. So obviously they have to put much pressure on the Alberton team to get those opportunities. At the moment, they're not doing that.
Most certainly. Let's have a quick look at some of the replacements that we will see getting onto the field at about 60 or 50 minutes or so in this encounter. Of course, we'll start with the team that's playing away from home. You've got players like Lindo, you've got players like Sfiso, as well as Fresh Dlamini. Ngumalo also being a part of that substitutions pack for these Elande. For the Eagles, in terms of the Elande players like Fourie, Brits, as well as Green also being a part of the conversation as well. In terms of your substitutions, when you look at these players, so often we talk about the bomb squad. In terms of the energy and the impact that they bring to a team, what difference can they make specifically for this Eagles outfit?
Definitely coming on off the bench, you'd want to, the team is behind on the scoreboard, but obviously you want to bring the energy. You want to bring the energy onto the field. You want to make an impact on the game. Not as a lone ranger, but obviously as a team. So you come up, you obviously want to get the ball, get your go forward, make your tackles. That's how you're going to bring the energy. If you make your tackles, if you get go forward ball, you know, eventually obviously score the tries. So I think the guys on the bench will be much eager to come up now, seeing that the Eagles are behind on the scoreboard.
Most certainly. In terms of that first half performance, just some of the key players that have really stood out for me in terms of this Elande outfit, players like Brits, players like Jones, Duplessis, as well as Forster in that back line. Maybe one or two players that have really stood out for you in that first half that we can see continue that solid momentum in the second half for this Elande outfit?
I think definitely in the forwards, obviously their front row, obviously at scrum time, as you see, they were pretty dominant at front time. The front row has actually obviously kept them in the game as well. When they do get into the Eagles 22, the forwards actually working hard, nicely together, you know, around the corners, around the rucks, and they actually scored. So there's a couple of players here, and especially in the Alberton pack, that obviously put their name out there.
Most certainly. You talk about that Alberton pack, we have to highlight the fact that even though the forward pack from the Eagles was a little bit smaller, they actually did quite well. I mean, players like Kagiso also being so important in terms of that forward pack as well. In terms of the second half, what are some of the changes that this Eagles outfit can actually make to ensure that this game becomes a little bit more competitive? Of course, they're trailing by 12 points, but the game is not over. There's still 35 minutes where they can actually make an impact.
Still a long way to go. Obviously, for them, it will obviously be a set piece. Fix your set piece. At ruck time, clean up at ruck time, be very clinical at ruck time. Also keep the ball in hand, going to continuity and play. Also, you don't want to play in your own half. When they are in your own half, get the ball, either kick the ball out and defend from set piece, or kick it long downfield. Let the Alberton team play. Let them make mistakes. Let them play from deep. So I think their coach will be telling them, listen here, we have to put this Alberton team under pressure. At the moment, we're not doing that. They're running on us, and obviously they're getting the momentum, and that's costing us. For them, it's just to get obviously in defense also. Get off the line, get up, put the guys on the ground. No more missed tackles, and just do your job.
Most certainly. As we see, the second half is about to kick off. Quick water break for Lionel Mapu. Quick replacement there. Fabian Boyson. He joins me in commentary yet again. Fabian, did you grab a quick coffee? Something to drink?
No, just something to warm up again, Darren. And just a quick change. I see we also had a change in official. The referee just getting himself a bit there, had a slight hamstring strain in the match. Managed to make it till halftime break. But we've got a new official on the field. So interesting also to see how he's going to manage the game, getting himself back into this game. But really looking forward to an exciting second half in this encounter, Aaron.
Certainly. Maybe that hamstring talks about the intensity of the game, eh?
No, a few of those line breaks that we saw there, long range tries, possibly having to keep up, struggling a bit there.
Elande, great take from the air. Steenkamp gaining vital meters for the Elande. Another big hit from the man wearing the 80 jersey of the Elande. Seeing lots of physicality here this afternoon.
No, lots of physicality, and that's what we want to see. But you want to see it within the laws and rules of the game, which we're trying to keep it and make sure that it's just that. As we saw, it was a beautiful carry there by Fourie, but also just the penalty conceded, unfortunately, from the Eagles early in the second half.
So much to play for in this game. Of course, just a reminder in terms of the log position of these two teams. Alberton Elande, they found themselves at the top of the log. Soweto Eagles, they're second on the log. And of course, a victory this afternoon would make a massive difference in terms of their chances of possibly moving to the top of the log. They are on 8 points. Elande, they're on 20 points as we start the second half.
It'll be Dupree looking to find his jumpers. Another full line-out set up from the Elande, possibly looking at another maul. Unfortunately not going to hand, but able to regather are the Elande, and cleaning up is the scrum of Roberts at the back of that line-out.
Elande with ball in hand. Dupree pushing men out his way. Gaining a meter or two for the Elande. Big carry here by the 8th man, Steenkamp, for the Elande. Penalty going the way of the Elande.
Back-to-back penalties being conceded from this Eagles outfit. Unfortunately, early encounters of this game as well in the second half. But unfortunately, just getting trapped at the bottom of that rack was the number 6 flanker, Tabalala, for the Eagles, not managing to get out of the way. But something to note, Aaron, see from the inception of the second half, the Elande side definitely upping the physicality, getting more intent behind their carries, getting gain line success. And it really seemed that has worked from in the early stages of the game, but also really resorting back to that. So it's definitely going to be a power game for the side. Eagles going to have to front up on defense, but what they've done well, they need to apply pressure, get out of their half, get the Elande to kick ball back in, because that's when they've been able to find the gaps and get some points on the board.
Most certainly, getting points on the board is the name of the game, and that's the area where the Eagles have truly struggled. It's almost as though the Elande have truly starved them of possession, and if you don't have the ball, you can't score any tries or get any penalties. And that's an area where they have to improve in the second half. At least seeing more of the ball will give them a greater chance of scoring points. A simple touch finder here by Foster for the Elande. It also seems that there's a greater sense of energy and vibe and excitement.
No, definitely so. Elande, I think they've gotten a bit of a lashing at the halftime break. That first half wasn't anything to write home about, even though they're ahead on the scoreboard, but not being clinical as they need to really put the Eagles away here.
Dupree with ball in hand for the Elande. Great execution of the lineouts. Seeing them set up the maul.
Penalty conceded by the Elande, obstruction there. And this once again not being clinical, as we mentioned. And an easy exit here for the Eagles.
It could have been an easy 5 points for the Elande.
Easy 5 points.
Wasted opportunity there.
Definitely, Aaron. There was no stopping that maul once it got set up.
Great touch finder here by the Eagles. They can breathe a little bit, get an opportunity to set up their lineouts. We haven't seen too many lineouts for this Eagles outfit. They'll be looking to make this one count, looking to spread the ball to the right-hand side of the field, run the ball out of their territory.
It will be Evans here feeding this ball into a shortened line out for the Eagles. Straight to the back they go. No jump line out for the Eagles.
A little bit scrappy there. Turnover ball here by the Elande. Ref calling them back.
Just a little knock on there from the Eagles outfit in the midfield, not being clinical. I think that's one word that's going to be crucial for both of these sides in the second half. Really wanting to assert their dominance. The Eagles are not going to have many opportunities, and they're going to have to make sure when those opportunities does come around, they make use of those.
And they've struggled in that regard throughout the first 39 minutes of this encounter. Another scrum opportunity. It's almost as though the Eagles get a little bit nervous when it's scrum time. You can see it from a distance. I mean, if I have to scrum against this forward pack of the Elande, big boys like Van Rooyen and Mnisi, Depree, I'd be nervous too. But that's an area that you're familiar with, eh?
I'd be nervous too, Aaron. If you look over the props, you see the locks towering behind them, and then you see similar sized men in their loose forwards. Definitely not something you'd want to be excited about, having to go down and scrum against a pack of forwards like that.
There'll definitely be a few sore bodies this afternoon, but the game is not over. Fight until the final minutes will be what the coach is screaming to his lads.
Another big scrum here from the Elande, holding it at the back is the 8th man for the Elande Steenkamp as they let that one go to Brits with a sniping run.
Foster being in the mix yet again. Yet again. We spoke about him in the first half, adding 5 more points to their tally. You can't miss him. The man with the white scrummy cap on his head. Foster adds another try for the Elande.
Oh, this backline from the Elande is running right at the moment, Aaron, from a beautiful set phase, beautiful dominant scrum, controlled at the back by Steenkamp, getting it to Brits, and at that point in time, the defensive line for the Eagles are just on your back foot constantly, and just running hard at them, and coming back on the cutback was Foster, finding his way all the way to the try line.
I'm getting a little bit concerned here for the Eagles outfit. If you don't fix their defensive structures, they might see that scoreboard tally move to 40, 50 points. They have to be careful. The coach will be screaming from the sidelines, asking his lads to fix a few mistakes. But as we look at Brits, looking to add 2 more points. Does it have the legs? No, it doesn't. That kick not going according to plan, but it's 41 minutes in to this big battle between the Elande and the Eagles. Alberton Elande leading by 25 points. Soweto Eagles, they find themselves just on 8 points.
The Eagles will be looking to get back at this one, get points on the board as quickly as possible there, and like you mentioned before, the scoreboard starts running away from them, and that's exactly what's needed from this outfit. Just get the ball in hand, get a try on the board, and make sure you capitalize from that.
CJ gathers for the Elande. They spread the ball. The 8th man, Steenkamp, running into contact. Yet again using their big men. Fourie. Bounce of the ball deceiving a lot of the players on the field. Eagles regather. Elande turn over the ball.
Oh, beautiful interplay from the Elande. Find themselves just outside the 22.
Eagles spread the ball. Steenkamp, Foster. Payne. Jones dropping the ball, unfortunately.
Counter-attacking opportunity here for the Eagles. And knock-on called by the referee. This bit of a sleight of hand there from Jones. Beautifully worked move, getting width. I think he just looked up at the wrong moment with acres of space in front of him, knocking that one on down.
Yes, certainly the coach will be screaming from the touchline, hands, hands, hands. So often you get a little bit excited. He was looking at the try line. There was an open gap actually. If he had grabbed that ball, secured it nicely, it would have been try time.
Try time for sure. Space aplenty there, and a man with his pace will definitely be able to finish that one off easily.
And we have seen him score that first try for this Elande outfit. He's a man that's looking for his brace. Foster as well, he was in the mix there. A man who's also scored a try this afternoon. We are seeing the Elande calling for a substitution. One of their players just receiving some medical attention there. Looks like their number looks Ben Mahlangu. Unfortunately, injury to one of their big men. We spoke about the importance of their forward pack. They've already been struggling. Losing Mahlangu is of course a big blow, but it's also an opportunity for one of their bomb squad players to make an impact.
Impact for sure, and the impact they're looking to make here is ball time in play. You want to keep the ball in play for as long as possible. If you're this Eagles outfit, you don't want stoppages, set phases, because that just brings this Elande side back into the game, and their set phases have been functioning beautifully. One of those areas, the scrum area as well. So you want to make these big guys run across the field, because that's where the Eagles outfit has been dangerous, getting the half gaps, making sure they put this Elande side under pressure, and that's exactly what they need to do more of, and to stay in touch before the scoreboard runs away with them.
Big opportunity here for the Eagles. Unfortunately, that scrum not going according to plan.
First tight end of the game.
With ball in hand. The ref calling them back here.
Discipline is the name of the game at this stage for this Eagles outfit, Aaron. They need to stay disciplined.
Tap and run by the Elande. CJ looking to muscle his way through. Ndela, yet again, I believe his second try of the game.
Getting his second one for a game, just bouncing players out of the way, showing great intent, wanting to get to the try line, and he does just that for this Elande outfit.
One of the things about this Elande outfit is the fact that when you have the physical dominance, it becomes so much easier for you to score tries, especially if there isn't at least a tackle being applied, or possibly two players from the Eagles at least trying to tackle one man. Because if you can't bring the player down to the ground, you have to at least apply two players on top of that player to at least get him on the ground. Otherwise, they'll score more tries.
From the onset, and as you mentioned, you need to get your double edge in, especially if you're the Eagle side at this stage of the game. And that means you've got 13 players to defend with your wingers dropping back. That means you only have 11 guys in the line. As we see another attempt here from Foster, from Brits not going as planned, and he's not able to add the 2 points to that try. And as we stand at the moment, is the Elande side leading the Eagles 30 points to 8.
Tough contest this afternoon for the Eagles. They're struggling in this battle, but there's still a lot of time in this game to turn things around. Maybe not win this game, but prove something to themselves. I think so often when a game isn't looking too good, you have to almost forget about the scoreboard and just focus on your basics and focus on every single play.
That's
as we
for sure.
See the restart.
100%, and I think for the Eagles it's vital that guys like number 6 flanker Tsabalala, left winger Nkosi, and the fly off keep the guys motivated. Team is going to need them to step up and show some exuberance here and some spark to really get them across the line.
Elande building their phases. Morris running straight into contact.
Counter-attack opportunity here for the Eagles.
Elande chasing. Eagles choosing to run out of their territory. Unfortunately, Du Plessis with the turnover there for the Elande. Foster with ball in hand. Dummy pass there. Elande still with ball in hand. Steenkamp gaining a few meters.
Big men doing what they do best, and unfortunately just being knocked on there from the replacement hooker or flanker, apologies. Surprise sneaking his way onto the field. Also had space in front of him and just not able to gather that one.
Makufane unfortunately costing his team there. But of course, it's almost as though this Elande team is battling themselves at this point in time. They're their own worst enemy. And this is where the Eagles have to capitalize. These are the moments that you have to make count. But what are the areas, at least to your mind, Fabian, that the Eagles coach will be a little bit upset about? Because yes, they're leading on the scoreboard with a massive margin, but the Elande haven't been perfect this afternoon.
No, they haven't. I think it's always tricky when you've got a forward pack with so much dominance. You're getting gain line success, and it's almost like you're playing yourself out of your structure, because every guy that touches the ball is gaining valuable meters, which you want, but it just throws you out a bit. And then you become greedy because each guy now wants to get into the mix as well, which is not a bad thing, but you end up becoming one-dimensional, one-off runners, easy to target, and then you start making silly mistakes by forcing a pass here or there. So I think a work on would be to stay within their structure from the get-go and maintaining that throughout.
Chabalala gaining a few meters here for the Eagles. Unfortunately, turnover here. It is Brits. He gets that turnover for the Elande.
Penalty there against the man Foster, just diving into that ruck. Dangerous play from the Elande's outside centre, just not taking caution, and it's a quick tap opportunity here
for the Eagles. Chabalala losing his footing there. Elande, they regather the ball. Foster looking to gain a few meters. Fortunately losing that ball in contact there. The Eagles chase. This is an opportunity for them.
Penalty for this Eagles. Best opportunity here in the second half for the Eagles outfit. Quick tap and play is the name of the game at this stage, and just continue playing. They haven't had many opportunities there, and this probably be one of the few just to get some confidence back and get their names on the scoreboard.
This is a huge opportunity here for this Eagles outfit. We're seeing more of the same. They're choosing the points.
A very interesting decision here, choosing points. They're behind by 22 points at this stage of the game. You'd be thinking either quick tap, possibly their scrums hasn't been bad on their own ball, maybe opt for the line out, shortened line out to play from that, but going for the points, very interesting decision.
Let's see what Mkhize can do, looking to add 3 points to their tally. Unfortunately, missing that kick is Mkhize. Now these are the moments where you start to ask questions. Should they have gone for the line out? Should they have gone for the tap and run, spread that ball to their wingers?
Aaron, at this stage of the game, you need to throw caution to the wind. You're behind by 22 points.
Got nothing to lose.
You've got absolutely nothing to lose. You're playing the top side in the competition. You're not going to get many opportunities to put points on the board. And when you do get it, you're going to have to make sure you capitalize on it. So next thing I'd like to see is them actually just going for points, playing the ball in play. And they have an opportunity to counter from this one.
Eagles, they regather. Running the ball beautifully, running straight into contact there. Is their number 21, Sfiso Numalo. Elande defensive line being tested. Eagles being patient with the ball.
Eagles.
It's almost as though the Eagles players are being lifted up. They're struggling, but they have an opportunity here, chasing that ball, looking for the good bounce. There it is. Nkosi securing his second try for the Soweto. Unfortunately, that not being a try.
Oh, try not awarded. Brave call there from the referee, but he is on the field. He probably has the closest view for that one. For our money, we thought that was a try. And Corsi going beautifully down the right-hand touch. Little grubber through, regathers, showing the pace, but brilliant covered tackle also coming in there from the Elande, avoiding that try, stopping that try from being scored.
Brilliant effort there. I mean, I was already celebrating,
No,
saying that it's a try.
Jumping up and down
Fantastic
with you,
effort.
waiting for 2 points to be added.
Fantastic effort there. I suppose we were just hoping that it becomes a little bit more competitive in terms of the scoreboard, but brilliant defensive effort there by the Elande.
Oh, brilliant effort, and that's more that we want to see as well from this Eagles outfit, making sure they actually give themselves an opportunity and shot at this game, and really just to not possibly to win, but put pressure on this Elande outfit and see how far they're really going to push them, because they'll probably end up playing them in the final sometime or another.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's also a good opportunity for this Eagles outfit to maybe sharpen their blade as well. Looking at the competition, we are towards scrum opportunity here.
Early shove there from the Elande, an opportunity here for this Eagles outfit.
Their biggest opportunity in the second half. Tap and run using their big men.
Let's see Abonga, the 8th man for the Eagles, crashing his way over for their first one of the second half.
Finally, that second try comes for the Soweto Eagles. They've been knocking on the door of the Elande. We saw that try being disallowed there, but Siabonga, he handles his business.
Still lots of time in this game as well, Aaron. I think if this Eagles outcome, just make sure, keep the energy up, make use of opportunities. The Elande could fall in a trap of getting too comfortable. We've seen they haven't been that clinical. So definitely an opportunity here, and this is the time where the Eagles are going to have to make sure they step it up, get a good restart from this one, gather the ball out of their own half and start pushing this Elande under pressure again.
The interesting thing is that we spoke about fitness when we started this battle. It seems that the Elande are tiring a little bit, and those are the areas, the small margins, where the Eagles can most certainly pounce on them.
Small margins for sure, Aaron, as unfortunately that one not going as planned. And as we enter into the 56th minute of this encounter, it's the Elande leading the Soweto Eagles 30 points to 13, but the Eagles by no stretch of the imagination out of this one, really giving themselves an opportunity here. One score and they're back into this one.
Most certainly. It's not over until the fat lady sings, they say. And this is rugby. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and we heard some singing from the supporters as well. Definitely not for the end of the game, but for encouragement for the guys on the field. And Corsi with a chip twin, he gathers again, and Corsi
making a brilliant run here. He needs support. Mkhize being there to support him. Eagles with ball in hand. Big opportunity for them to add another try to their tally. They've got the advantage as well. Hey, the pendulum is swinging. The Eagles have got a slight touch of momentum. Another key question, tap and run, kick for post, Fabian?
Tap and run, Aaron. Let the boys play. Let the boys play.
As you say that, I see a kicking tee being placed on the field. Clearly, we're not the coaches.
There's a reason why we're behind the mic, and I think they've proven that now. Like, there's a reason why we're standing here and they are making the decisions. And maybe that's why the Eagles are still in the game. We would have had our boys running around the whole afternoon. But very interesting decision again. They've seen what they can do with ball in hand, see the opportunities they actually create with ball in hand, with this putting this Elande outfit under pressure, and yet giving them an opportunity to breathe now, get back, get their focus up.
But it's quite interesting because, of course, that kick by Mkhize being successful. 16 points to the Soweto Eagles, but the Alberton Elande, they still lead this game by 30 points. But we spoke about it earlier. We said they've got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, Aaron.
Go for 5 points. Why take 3 points?
Full house, go for the full house. Make sure you get it converted. Luckily, on that occasion, he converted the 3 points, which is good. We speak about scoreboard pressure, and the Elande would definitely be feeling that, having to step it up now. And it's a brilliant gather there from the kickoff, and immediately getting some go forward there. Is it number 6 flanker? Chabalala. Gaining valuable meters for the Eagles.
Eagles still with ball in hand. Big hits by the 8th man. Siyabonga, the man who scored the try earlier. He's keen. Eagles fly half. Trying to muscle his way through there, unfortunately losing the ball. Elande tracking back, trying to ensure that they're not offside as they gain more meters through CJ. Ndela. Elande still with ball in hand.
The stepping into touch there was the number 4 lock for the Elande on the left-hand side of the field, finding himself in unfamiliar territory there and just stepping out of the field. But something that's quite impressive, Aaron, is the physicality from the Eagles outfit all of a sudden, getting themselves some good go-forward ball, making sure they're getting over the advantage line through Chabalala, making sure that they're also giving them a good platform to attack from, and just unfortunately losing that one in contact, but really just showing the signs of why they're at the top of the table in second position at this stage of the comp.
Most certainly. Elande with ball in hand, looking to muscle their way through this defense. Foster, he spreads the ball. Payne looking at that try line, being so close. Great defense by the Eagles as we see another quick switch in commentary. Welcome back, Mr. Lionel Mapu.
My pleasure to be back, Mr. Aaron.
The action is heating up. 20 minutes left in this battle between the Elande and the Eagles.
Heating up
Your
indeed.
analysis of the last 20 as you've watched while you're sipping your coffee.
Heating up indeed. Obviously, as we see the Eagles coming back into this game, obviously getting momentum and getting into the Elande's 22. But funny enough, opted for the 3 points rather than just ball momentum with attacking, getting the 5 points. You guys have been speaking about it, that they have nothing to lose, and obviously they can still get in this game at the moment.
Foster with ball in hand for the Elande, pushing his way through. Choosing to rather run the ball there instead of passing. Elande spreading the ball. It's Brits. Oh, big mistake there for the Elande.
Forward pass there by the number 10. Get out of jail free card there for the Soweto Eagles.
Sure, I feel like some of these Soweto Eagles players need to play the lottery this evening. They've been quite lucky this afternoon.
Very lucky indeed. I mean, they say you do create your own luck, so that they have been putting the Elande under pressure.
Another big moment here.
Be interesting to see what they're going to do with this ball here. Obviously, they are behind on the scoreboard. They might feel the scoreboard pressure is against them and wanting to run this ball. But obviously, an option would be to get the ball out, kick it into touch.
That would be the simplest option. But everything that we said was simple, they've gone against that. I mentioned to Fabian earlier that clearly we're not the coaches and the lads are making their own decisions. So it'll be interesting to see how they choose to play this ball, given what they've done throughout the first 62 minutes in this encounter, is that they'll go for the quick feed and then run the ball out of their territory, which is a little bit dangerous, but they've opted for that option.
Well, if it works for them, it works for them. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, and you shoot yourself in the foot, but they obviously need to be clever now. They are chasing the game. They are 14 points behind.
Quick feed here by Mkize. Great support here by the Eagles.
Just like you said, if it's working for them, it's working for them. Up to the 10-meter line as the Eagles go, running the ball.
Turnover ball, unfortunately. Elande with ball in hand. Payne.
Opted
Chip and chase. Payne, unfortunately, not regathering that ball.
exciting play there from the fullback with the chip and chase into the Eagles 22. Unfortunately, knocking the ball on there.
Payne is putting in a man of the match performance. He clearly wants that award this afternoon. Unfortunately, not being lucky on that occasion.
Definitely good play there from Payne. Good vision to see that there's space in the back, and obviously he can get the ball. If he just gathered the ball there, they would have been on the try line again.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. Eagles.
More of the same for the Eagles.
Flirting with danger. But it's been working for them. They've opted for those options. And we can only watch and enjoy the rugby.
Eagles definitely treating us to some champagne rugby out of their own 22 this afternoon.
Quick feed here.
As you see a knock on there by the Eagles behind the scrum. Elande ball, good attacking opportunity. Great attacking opportunity here, where obviously they can get a good shove with the forwards, get a nice platform with the backs putting it up, and then use their forwards to work around the corner, outwork the Eagles.
This is a big moment here for the Eagles. One would say another try here by the Elande would be that final nail in the coffin.
Might just be out of reach for the Eagles.
And a try right now could also be quite demoralizing as well.
Interesting to see what's happening at the feed in here at the scrum time.
Quick feed here. Great pickup by the Elande.
The number 8 Steenkamp, good carry there. Patience is the name of the game here for the Elande. As they choose to spread the ball wide.
Interception, Foster, he picks up for the Elande.
Great offload by Foster.
CJ Ndela.
Great, as we saw, a great offload there by Foster. Caused CJ Ndela to score the try there. Good score there for the Elande, taking the tally to 35 points to 16 with the kick to come.
You talk about the tally there, of course. Ndela, he moves his tally to a hat-trick this afternoon, scoring a total of 3 tries. What a great outing for him, and so often you wouldn't expect a flanker to get 3 tries.
Wonderful.
Shows how open this game has been.
Definitely wonderful there from the flanker. Shows you also that how dominant their forwards have been, obviously. Getting the go forward ball, running into space, offloading well, getting the gain line. That's just been the story of the afternoon, actually. The forwards of this Elande team actually showing what they are made of.
Most certainly. Bretzi showing what he's made of. He struggled a little bit this afternoon in terms of the kicking tee, but he's coming back into this game, getting the conversion there. After 66 minutes, Alberton Elande add more points to their tally. They're now on 37 points. Soweto Eagles, they're just on 16 points. We spoke about the final nail in the coffin. We saw that try. I suppose now the players are playing for pride. Forget about the scoreboard. Let's go out there, focus on our basics, and let's finish strong.
No, definitely, as you see the kickoff here by the Soweto Eagles gather there by the Elande team.
Great
Number
take
10,
by Brits. He's pushing his way through. He's being held up at the moment.
Being smothered there by a whole bunch of Sowetan Eagles. The turnover, get the turnover ball.
Eagles with ball, losing that ball.
Ball being kicked through there by the Elande. Eagles under pressure there, deep in their own half.
Penalty going the way of the Eagles. Pardon me, Elande.
Elande, another great attacking opportunity. Unfortunately there for the Eagles in front of the kicker.
Tap and run by Foster. Got a little bit excited. Ref calling him back, saying relax.
Foster ready to go again. Foster ready to go again.
He's a man who's had a brilliant afternoon. Scored a try, being so vital at center, spreading the ball, choosing the right run, offloading when it was the right time. but unfortunately not finding touch there.
Kick again there by the Eagles. Great
Eagles
chase
chasing.
coming down the middle there by the Eagles.
Payne under pressure.
Good offloading there. Brits with the chip.
Elande regather.
Unfortunately, knock on again there. Good option, good option there. The chip was on. Obviously, they just needed to gather the ball, and they would have been all for all money because the Eagles' defense was scattering after that kick.
Most certainly, without a doubt. We are within the last 12 minutes of this battle at the Alberton Rugby Club. Elande, they lead this game quite comfortably.
As you see the number 9 there of Eagles and Keys there, going to put the ball into the feed the ball into the scrum. It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles are doing here. Obviously they're behind on the scoreboard. They desperately need points on the board, obviously. So they'll definitely look to play this ball out wide, take the ball outside to the speedsters. Obviously they just need to keep ball in hand, build the pressure, get that momentum in order for them obviously to get a chance even to score some points again in this game.
And that's what they've done well this afternoon. I suppose stick to what works.
Definitely stick to what works.
Trust your wingers, trust the fast men, and don't overcomplicate it. And Kize, he's actually been one of the players that have really, really impressed me. I mean, from the decisions that he's made at ruck time, spreading the ball with confidence, he's been fantastic off the kicking tee, slotting away to penalties for this Eagles outfit. He's been quite solid.
Definitely a live wire. Number 9.
Number 6, Chabalala gaining a few meters there from a successful scrum there for the Eagles.
As you see here, the Eagles obviously getting the momentum there against the Elande. Penalty time
goes the way of the Eagles. Yet again, spoke about it earlier, the manna groet mekaar. You know,
that's just late in the game. Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
You see a high tackle there by the Elande. Great kick into touch there by the number 9 Kize. Great attacking opportunity. They just need to obviously convert now in this area. Build the momentum, carry well, get over the gain line, clinical at ruck time, and obviously play the ball through the hands.
Most certainly, big opportunity here. They have to make it count. Evans
starts at the line out.
You can see how they've positioned their field. They'll probably choose to run this ball. That's it. That's the game.
Final score therefore in favor of the Elande, 37-16. What a game, what a wonderful game of rugby this afternoon. And the Soweto Eagles, they didn't stand back for the Elande. They actually came up and obviously showed them, yeah, we had to play.
Most certainly. One of the things that really stood out at the start of the game is, of course, you can see that the Soweto Eagles players are a little bit smaller, so we were expecting the Elande to be a lot more dominant in terms of the physicality of the game. But also a big shout out goes out to the Eagles. They had a lot of heart. They wore their hearts on their sleeve. They actually pushed through and they did quite well even at scrum time. But unfortunately, when it comes to opportunities, there were opportunities that were wasted on their part as well, even though they played much of that game within their territory. In terms of the Elande, your analysis of where they were actually able to counter and conquer the Eagles this afternoon.
A great play, especially for the forwards of the Elande. Great play between the forwards and the backs actually. They actually controlled this game nicely. Obviously, they scored when they needed to score. They took their opportunities. The defense line was very good. Their structure, defensive structure was very good. Their attacking structure was very good. Pretty much a good all-round performance from them. Yes, a little bit of lapses of concentration here and there, but they job well done for the Elande this afternoon.
Most certainly, we have to shine a spotlight on some of the key players for this Elande outfit. I mean, when you look at that forward pack, players like Van Rooyen and Mnisi, De Pria, they did quite well, but we have to shine a spotlight on the flanker, CJ Ndela, a man who scored a hat-trick this afternoon. I would say that's my man of the match. Maybe one or two other players that have done quite well this afternoon.
That's the man of the moment, you say. Obviously, there Foster was a live wire there. Brett's also controlling the game there for the Elande.
You talk about the live wire, but we have to send a massive shout out to the man of the match. That is Steenkamp, the man who wears the number 8 jersey for this Elande outfit. What a brilliant performance from him. Strong in terms of carrying the ball, vital at line out time, and he's been vital to their victory this afternoon.
Doing the hard yards, leading there from the back of the pack to the front of the pack. Very great performance there by Julian Steenkamp.
Big one. Of course, as we see the Elande players coming off the field, they'll be very, very happy with this performance. They've now made it 7-7 in terms of the President's Cup. Fantastic victory, 37 points to 16 points to the Soweto Eagles. In terms of some of the key players that stood out for you from the Eagles outfit, maybe a player like Chabalala, he did quite well. The man, the left flanker with the number 6 jersey, as well as Yabonga, the man who scored that second try as well.
Definitely, and you mentioned earlier as well, Mkize at 9, obviously also not always getting clean ball, but serving his backline.
Man of the match, seeing him with his beers, smiling from ear to ear.
Great performance there from the number 8. Great performance there by the whole Elande team. Obviously, they are the team in the competition that everybody wants to beat. For them, they just obviously need to just keep going and win after win. Looks like they're going straight all the way to the final.
Most certainly. You called it. Elande are going to the final. We'll keep you accountable on that prediction, Lionel. But that's how we wrap it up. Right here at the Alberton Rugby Club, a fantastic afternoon of rugby. It is the Elande that beat the Eagles with a 37-16 point scoreline. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.